Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Score! Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
Well, a good afternoon from the Andover Athletic Complex. I'm Joe Ruhlin along with Pete Hayes. This is boys high school soccer, and this will be a double feature once again today as we have the boys leading it off here at the 5 o'clock session, and then the late night game will be certainly the girls, and that'll be a great matchup as well. Two evenly paced teams tonight here this afternoon. A couple of teams kind of going a little different direction. The Huskies come in with a record of 6-7, and of course led by Andy Lynch. They've been surely trending. Some big wins over Rogers and a 4-1 win over Centennial this past weekend. Meanwhile, for Anoka, they come in with a mark of 4-6-5. That's right, 5 ties. And their last win has come against Forest Lake time back. But again, Pete, should be a good one. It's going to be Andover in the black. And meanwhile, it'll be the Tornadoes in the white, getting ready to rock it, and we are looking at the wind here. Went about straight. I'll get a look here at the starters. Christian Gunther in goal, followed by defensive Blake Knutson and Hennessy, followed by Preston Bergeron, along with Landon Fogarty. Meanwhile, the middies will be Carter Eklund, Grant Johnson, Dylan Schrader, and then, of course, the top scorer on the team this year, the goal is Nathan Haglund with 11 goals, followed by the rest of the lineup. Meanwhile, it'll be Youngquist, Noah in goal for the Clint Sewell squad here for Anoka, followed by Foslin and Vanderlinden, and then you have McGowan, Hernandez, Tabukam, also one of the middies. Botko back out there, a little banged up from that Champlain Park game. Rachel, followed by McClinton, Glavin Sewell, and Noah Alquist. As we are underway, Andover controls the ball, sets it back deep, and we'll get things going. Looking at two teams that look a little bit different than we saw last year in terms of the formations. And Pete, I know you had a chance earlier this year to catch Andover and their win over Totino Grace, so their matchup versus Totino Grace.
Yeah, Andover struggled a little bit here in the middle of the season, but came up with a couple of big wins this last week, with playoffs coming next week. Anoka struggling a little bit. Really started off the season well, but has struggled as of late, so they're looking to get back on track. And as far as a sectional game goes, very important. These two teams could be playing each other next week, Joe, looking at things the way I'm looking at it right now, and this is kind of to see who's going to be the home team. So both teams will be feeling each other out here to find out what each team has, and when Anoka and Andover play, it's always intense.
Yes, it is. Words coming from the mouth there of Pete Hayes, a 3-time state championship coach, the Anoka Tornadoes. And again, you see transition, opening formations. What are you looking at here, Pete?
Well, it looks like Anoka's gone to a 4-4-2, and here they come on the counter-attack with Tristan McGowan. See if he can make something happen here.
Through ball attempt there, but will lead to a goal kick, and that will come from Gunther.
I know last week Anoka was running a 5-3-1. Does that number come out right? 5-4-1. And we're chasing a lot, and they've switched it up back to what they were doing when they were successful, which is a 4-4-2. Looking at Andover, it looks like they have 4 in the back, 4-4-2, pretty much the same formation as Anoka.
Starting up again for Andover. They've put up 25 goals, surrendered 27 this year. And Anoka's just kind of hit that scoring drought here most recently. So they're looking to get that straightened out before they start sections early next week. Here's one top of the 18, a header back out. Now a follow-up shot. This one's lifted over the top of the crossbar there. And we will get a goal kick here to possession for the Anoka Tornadoes.
Charlie Foslin's the goal scorer for Anoka. Leads the team. I believe he has 8 goals in the season. And a switch is a guy who's coming out of the back, and Caden Hernandez is now up front with Fossen. He's a really skilled player, so be interested to see how he does up there.
Far side here. Again, a big win for the Andover Huskies the last 2 games. A 2-0 win over Rogers on Thursday, and then on Monday, a 4-1 win over Centennial. You'll appreciate this, Pete, because Hagelin, who had 3 goals in that game, he's now got 11 on assists on the season, but he had 2 throw-ins that were goals.
Wow, you
against
like
Centennial.
that.
One from near the goal line.
I like that. Seen that in the past, that's for sure.
I knew that would trigger some positive thoughts for you and part of that championship run and some of the talent you had, and some of the ability with a couple of your players to have some pretty powerful throw-ins.
Yeah, we had some guys who could throw it. You know, looking at this Andover team, the other player you really want to watch is Eklund. Number 2, Carter Eklund for Andover.
Moving in now. Chipped away, sent back near midfield, controlled. The far side, a touch pass there is deflected. Andover gives chase as Andover started the season with a record of 4-0 with wins over Forest Lake, Totino Grace, Elk River, and Robbinsdale Armstrong. And then they hit a 7-game skid. One of the players certainly they are missing is Clement Mutomba for Andover, who was lost right at the beginning of the season with a fractured clavicle as he was a slide tackle from behind. Took him down hard, and they think maybe there's a possibility he could be back for the section playoffs. We'll open to see how that works out, but they could certainly use his scoring punch. But you're right, Dylan Schrader also someone here trying to pitch it through, now trying to settle high, shot just over the crossbar. Beautiful pass, good footwork by Aquay that time as Collison Aquay picked up his first goal of the season.
Yeah, Aquay is a good player, good young player for Andover. I believe he's only a freshman, and that's real close to being offside there, but stayed onside, had a good opportunity, the first one for Anoka, and here comes Rachel coming off the field for Anoka, and that will really hurt them if he's hurt at all, because he's one of their leaders back on defense, one of the 3 seniors that play on Anoka.
That bench does not look like it has a lot of depth tonight for the Tornadoes. Out for Andover is going to be Cade Hansen. So good first scoring opportunity by Aquay. That just went over the top of the crossbar. Now Tornadoes trying to create some pressure. A kick from just outside the 30. This one near the box, a header at the 6. Settling on the far side. Anoka trying to drop pass there and unable to complete. It was Gavin Sewell initially who had a look there.
Yeah, good opportunity for Anoka. You know, looking at the wind, Joe, it's pretty much going straight across the field from our vantage point here. Might be going a little bit north-south, but I'm not very good with the east-west, north-south.
Well, last Friday we certainly had some clement weather during the football game against Spring Lake Park, in which it's the first time I've ever been a part of something like that. They postponed the game until Saturday morning. I think Anoka had the same situation with their game, but we got through the first quarter. Here's a run, a through ball. Race goes. Aquay has a good look, and he's off the post, just missing with that left foot. He was dribbling that in, settled it, and almost a goal there for the Huskies.
Boy, he's had a couple of good opportunities here already.
Knocking on the door here, as you can see, right on the foot. He was able to get that burst speed.
Yeah, Youngquist was a little undecisive on that one. I think he probably should have came out and tried to take that one off his foot right there, because he was stuck in no man's land, and that was a great scoring opportunity for Andover early.
Last time we had a chance to see the Tornadoes was their 2-1 loss to Champlin Park. Here's a run now. Eklund chirps it ahead, far side, tried to settle here. Left foot kick, goal!
Well, they've had 3 great opportunities to start out here. and they capitalize and put Anoka down 1-0. And like I said earlier, with 3 on the bench for Anoka, that's not a good thing, as he is one of their top defenders, and Andover taking advantage of it right there.
What a beautiful pass by Eklund. Just pitched it right up, right on the 18, settling it, left foot, and finishing.
Yeah, Eklund, he's the quarterback for Andover. You got to make sure that you stop him, because he really dishes out balls, and they've got some finishers on Andover, and Andover's got to be really happy with their start.
Goal number 12 on the season for Hagelin, and he had great precision on that goal. Hagelin had 3 goals in the game against Centennial. Then he had 2 goals versus Rogers, and then he had 1 goal against Spring Lake Park. I always believe he's kind of trending. Talking to Andy Lynch, he said, you know, you're kind of progressing now to 4 goals here in the game tonight. He said no pressure, but it seems like that's where you're going. Early lead here for the Huskies, and the assist goes to Eklund. And Eklund with a beautiful pitch pass that bounced right on the 18. Eklund hit the burners and went to the low side.
Here's a takedown on Charlie Foslin. Good call. And I'll tell you what, this is a dangerous area right now, especially with the way that the wind is blowing. You know, you could hit a rocket from where the ball is right here into that upper right-hand corner. So we'll see who's going to take the shot for Anoka. Looks like it might be Danny Botko, or they might have Alquist, the left footer here, try to bend something too. But tell you what, if Botko gets a hold of it, I'd be heading for that upper corner right now with that wind.
Alquist, the first touch, perhaps. It'll be Botko. He sends it down below, almost snuck that in. Not expecting, I think, for it to make that far into it was Gunther, Christian Gunther. Gunther, oh, by the way, this is his 10th game, 10th appearance of the season, 674 minutes in goal. Has allowed 11 goals and a save percentage of .831 and a goals against of 1.54. Cross the 18 from one side to the other, unable to control the ball was Anoka. And we're starting to get some light rain.
Yeah, you look off to the distance there, and it looks like it's the rain coming down, and it's making its way here. And you're hearing some discouraging remarks in the audience here. I don't know if they were expecting this.
This makes these seats, the premium seats here, covered. Chance behind, now top of the 18. A quick move here, trying to get a shooting lane. That is escorted out. Play, it'll be a go kick for the Andover Huskies. 4, 6, and 5 for the Tornadoes, with no overtimes this year. They've been able to ring it up 5 times for a tie, and none for Andover, with a record of 6 and 7. Both these teams have had some challenges this year, with, of course, one of the top teams in the state, and that being Maple Grove. 5-1 loss for Andover and a 5-0 loss for Anoka.
Bad touch there by Charlie Foslin. He was in, and he put his head up for a second. Ball was at his toe and went out of bounds. But, you know, Anoka getting a couple of opportunities early, too. Both teams are. I don't think this is going to be our final score by any means.
10 minutes in of this match, and Huskies have jumped up top 1-0 on the goal by Hagelin. His 12th of the season. This year he has 3 game-winning goals. Second on the team in goals is Schrader. Excuse me, tied for second with Eklund is Schrader. Schrader with 2 game-winning goals, and Eklund with 1. Andover midfield. McQuay just waiting to see if he can get that ball through. That's got to be bothering him, because he had 2 good looks at some goals and the opportunities in the opening minutes, but unable to capitalize on those. A throw down the line, not controlled by the Tornadoes. They center, and now it's guided back out by Andover. It'll be a throw in for the Tornadoes.
Well, with Adam Reachel on the bench for Anoka, they've had to compromise here a little bit, and McGowan, who's usually a center midfielder, is now back at the sweeper position, so it weakens them there a little bit. Not sure if he's played that position at all this year, and I've never seen a bench so short as Anoka is right now. They better be hoping that JV game gets over quick. But Andover doesn't have a whole lot of subs on their side either.
Takedown on the far side on Schrader. That'll be a foul whistled on the Tornado. It's a free kick coming away. You get a look at Schrader dumped hard. High in the air, trying to get it. Eklund gets the spacing, reverses field, goes to the middle. He's dropped down there, no call. There's a left foot kick, beautiful kick just above the crossbar. Off the goal post. As I'll tell you, this rain continues to come as a keeper. Nothing is secure. With that ball sliding through the gloves or even anything up high, trying to control it can be a hazardous.
Yeah, on this turf too, Joe, when gets a little slick, that ball will skip on you. I'd always say make sure that you're going to the net, because you get that skip and it's coming off the goalie's chest, and easy way to score a goal on a rebound if you're going to the net. I think Anoka got away with one there. That could have been a penalty kick.
That was close as Eklund reversed field and then tried to cut to the middle. And he went to the turf hard, jumping to pass. Now the turnover by Anoka, in possession here for the Huskies. Far run down the corner. Hagelin gets possession back now. Even that was a good kick, as it was right on the goal line. He hit the far post and it went in, but it was obviously called dead before then. But 25:50 to go here in this first half. Andover has struck first, 1-0 lead.
I wasn't very good in geometry, but I was kind of surprised that thing went in.
I know.
It was right off the line.
It was like almost like a pool shot. Andover, long kick, a one-hop, easily handled there by Youngquist. Well, you like to get the mitts on it early, especially when you have some rain coming down, kind of build some confidence. You always have adjustments to make too on that side. Here's boot down the line, lifted back side of the foot up ahead to the far side, and an attempt there. On transition now, trying to counterattack. Working it on the near side here is Vlad Varney. Takes it close to the 18. Director right back out as Tabugum trying to get into the fray as well. Unable to get in to block the shot. Huskies now may have a chance for a run on the far side of the field. Reversing a crossover move. And here's a through ball attempt. Once again for Akwe. Akwe has it all alone. And at the last minute, it's cleared by the Tornado defender. Akwe, his third attempt here in the first 15 minutes of the game. And he's got to feel cursed.
Well,
Schrader with a nice.
Youngquist was a little more decisive right there and came out, and a good thing that Alquist was back there to clear that one off the line. But I like that Youngquist came out there and challenged him anyway. Otherwise, that would have been an easy touch and goal for Andover.
Throw in by Eklund in front of the goal, right at the top of the 6. As we mentioned, he had 2 goals, did Eklund, against Centennial that were throw-ins. Again, near side along the 18. Header, Akwe elevates. Push in there now. Anoka sends it up near midfield. Settled, sent right back in by Andover. That'll be a one-hop it in possession. Will be the goalie. And Noah Youngquist, the junior.
Well, when you have a young team like Anoka and you're struggling to get wins right now, you cannot go down 2-0. You know, it's tough. It's tough to start with, but it seems to be so far this year, once they get down by a few, they don't have the same. There we go.
Through here, quick shot. Foslin that time. You see the burst speed. That left foot kick looks kind of natural for him.
Yeah, he can go with both feet, but he's a quick kid, only a sophomore, has 8 goals on the season, so he's a tenacious player. And here's a good opportunity for Anoka on the corner kick. They're going short.
Yep, it's the first corner kick fixed piece of the day here for either team. Walking the ladder, but not quite getting the height and the timing that time was Vander Linden for the Tornadoes. They turned it over.
Well, they're not the biggest team out there, Joe. That's for sure. Anoka, the Alquist kid's good size, and Sewell kid for sophomores, but they're not a real tall team or big team. Andover has a few guys back there in that defensive end. They're a little bit bigger.
Hansen returns, as does Ethan Weiss. Coming out was Grant Johnson. That was one of them. And I think the other was 35 here in Nick Brown.
Still got a little bit of rain going on right now.
It is. How important is it to get a rotation in, or how long did you like to wait to make adjustments or even get some of the bench players in? Was there like a 15-minute mark?
That was usually it for me, about the 15-minute mark, especially if they're an outside midfielder, center midfielder. I felt that at that mark that they were probably getting tired, and you'd want to get some new guys in there. But with Anoka's bench and Andover's bench as short as they are today, you're not going to see a lot of wholesale chases, that's for sure. But yeah, about the 15-minute mark. I always like to make a switch and give those guys a 5-10 minute blow and then get them back in there.
Hennessy with the left foot kick sends it beyond the sideline. This will be the throw in. Coming in for Anoka next whistle will be number 22, Caden Aldridge. This one on goal, making the save is Gunther. Again, he comes in with a goals against of 1.54. Both these teams have kind of had their scoring droughts throughout the season. That's the through ball, the header, explosive, coming right in on that attempt and diffused by a nice defensive effort there by the Tornadoes. Otherwise, darting in was Hansen. Down the line, Foslin. Foslin stops, reverses just inside the 18, sends it across. Deflected back out by Andover, controlled again by the Tornadoes. They reload and try to bring it right back in again. A collision as Tabukam that time was trying to redirect. Escorting the ball back there is McGowan. Put it on the foot of Youngquist and then off the head. There's a loss of possession off the head of Alquist. Tough one for Alquist to try to get a head on and control. And we are going to get our first corner kick. Is it? No, it'll just be a throw-in.
Yeah, that was
near
all,
the corner.
That was all caused because Andover went quick. I always like to go quick. Let's get that ball. Let's go. Might catch somebody sleeping. Alquist was kind of up in the play a little bit. They got it back in behind him, and now they get a good scoring opportunity because this kid can throw the ball.
Hagelin right near the goal. Loose change bounces there. Trying to pinch in from the 18 top shelf. Buries it upper 90 with the left foot kick for Andover. They take a 2-0 lead. The shot by Weiss. That was a laser on the line.
Yeah, great opportunity. Like I said, it was dangerous. Anoka didn't clear. A great opportunity there, and he buried it. Nice shot by Andover and Weiss.
Andover has played with some upper shots near the crossbar. Here's the throw, and it all kind of stemmed here from the throw-in by Hagelin. And finally, it pops out and surging through, maybe a good 3 yards from just outside the 18. And Weiss lasers one just under the crossbar. And Andover is up 2-0.
Well, that's why you always like to have support on the top of the box. Not everybody in that box. He came up from that defensive position, let it go. Nice goal.
No assist just yet issued. After the throw in by Hagelin kind of initiated kind of the disarray of that ball bouncing around, trying to settle who was going to take care of it. And it deflected out, and Weiss, Johnny on the spot. Second penalty kick or corner kick this afternoon for the Tornadoes. Left foot kick coming here from the corner near the 6, elevating, climbing the ladder and making the save. Flashing the leather there was Gunther. Quickly on to transition. It is Andover trying to counter back again. And turnover, long through, we will get the offside. And yeah, finally touched up there by number 10, Botko, but he was whistled for the offside, and we're going to get a stop of time here with 17:40 to go. Was that a yellow?
Well, the whistle blew it. I don't know if Botko heard it or not. If he did, then it would be a yellow card. And I guess they thought he heard it, so they're going to give him the yellow card because he continued on and put it in the back of the net. Which they really got to watch now, Joe, because playoffs come next week, and he gets another yellow card, and he's not playing. And now he's sitting over there, and it looks like some reinforcements have showed up from the JV game. So a couple more guys on the bench, and that's a good thing because they're running out of players fast.
Fresh legs. Head coach Clint Sewell having a few words with the official as they move it down the line here, trying to control. Big body there defensively of Alquist.
You know, Joe, this is when I would always talk to the official and say, okay, you gave this guy a yellow card, know what his number is. We have playoffs next week. It better be a good one if you're going to give him another one. You know, because if you're going to give him one on that and then we lose him for the playoffs, so you need to be heads up as an official on what number that was. It usually worked sometimes.
Did that appease the situation?
I don't know. It made me feel better.
As they hit it here, and so the 2 yellows, you know, equals that red. And for that next game coming up, what is that situation?
Well, he'd be out.
Yeah.
Because he'd have a red card. You get a red card, you're out the next game. And it looks like he's going to come back into the game, so he needs to really watches what he's doing. And like I said, hopefully the official knows the situation, which sometimes they don't.
Exactly. I knew that they were out for that remainder of the game, but the next one as well.
Yeah, they got the next
painful.
One. Yeah, any kind of red.
Vanderlinden coming out, and back on, as you mentioned, Pete is Botko. He's got some scoring punch. He and Foslin, the 2 top goal scorers here for the Tornadoes this season. Youngquist has gone most of the way in goal. Accumulated, I would say, about 95% of the minutes. Same to be said, not quite as much as Grayson Schick for Andover has had 5 game appearances, 366 minutes. One hopper. Youngquist quickly back out to Alquist. Alquist fakes left. Eklund is right there. And
they ran into each other there.
They did. Here's a chance with a Husky player down at the 18. No one in. He's going to take charge. Chip this one to the far side. A header sends us near out, but still battling for it. And now we're going to get the nudge. The push there by Andover. And that was Hennessy, I believe. So it'll be a free kick for Anoka. Here comes, look at the 2 players collide just above the 18. I'd make that about 10 yards above the 18. Left a good opportunity there. Now here's a free kick. Alquist chips it just inside the goal box. It's a 6. It's deflected back out by Andover, and now they're on the run. Here they come. 3-on-3. Now make that 3-on-2. Getting by. Cutting back up top inside the 18. Deflected by the defender on the shot there by Hagelin. I believe that was Hagelin.
Looked like a little hockey game right there. We had a little 3-on-2 and then 2-on-1. Yeah.
Drop pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we'll keep it toasted and updated as well. Ryan in my ear also said the Twins just got out of a critical situation with the bases juiced and turned a double play, or I used to call it a roll tide. A double play to get out of the inning, and they still lead 2-0 to the Twins. And that looks like it is heading to the 6th.
Oh, wow. So Sonny Gray must be pitching well tonight then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, yeah, what they always say, playoffs is all about pitching, right? You got to hit your spots, appearance with it, and it's paid off thus far for the Twins. Some great defense as well, especially last night.
They were good, that's
Back
for sure.
in is Nick Brown for Andover. Aquay will get a chance to take a bench.
Aquay, he's a good player, and he's only a freshman.
You know, he's just starting. It's head coach for Andover, Andy Lynch, said, you know, you can just tell when a player is just kind of getting into that zone, into that rhythm, and he's like, he's going to be a strong player for us for years to come. And I kind of look at a player like that as kind of the X factor when you start to go to sections.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Anoka has a good one too, and Tabukum. He's only a freshman too. Number 21 for Anoka.
Arvin Tabukin, correct. And over near midfield here. Schrader was coming over to help out. Looks like they were thinking about reversing the field. And back now down the line, and a miscue there by Andover, and that's a turnover. 2-0 lead though for the Huskies. Just under 12 to play here in this first half. A through ball here will be collected by Gunther. He still hasn't picked it up. He'll wait for Anoka to kind of come in on the attack. Now he embraces the ball.
He's a big goalie. He kicks the ball well, and he's got height, and looks like he can throw it a little bit too.
Plenty of action coming this month for Anoka, including the parade. Parade is one, and then the Pumpkin Bowl. You got to respect the pumpkin. That's always been my theme every time we call the game. You got to respect the pumpkin. Love that pumpkin at the 50-yard line. Trying to counter back and bring on some additional pressure there for the Huskies, but it's diffused by the defense of Anoka as they scoot that ball out beyond the sideline. Throw in for Andover. Again, a 2-0 lead. Near the 6, little confusion. Then walking the ladder, pulling it down was Youngquist.
They're dangerous on those long throw-ins, and you know there was talk, Joe, of moving the stadium up to the high school. How could you do that? How could you take away downtown Anoka and the Pumpkin Bowl? It just baffled me when they were talking about that. You know, coaching for 30 years down there, and it's all people talked about. We love coming here and playing. We look forward to it. You know, it's a
great environment.
It's a great environment, and down in the bowl and downtown parking, and and especially come Halloween time.
Yep. A little pre and post game conveniences there, playing downtown as well. The drop back here, midfield, and of course the race. I've run the race a couple of times. Through again. Haglund gives choice, but a nice job of sealing him off was McGowan. Got in the spot, sealed him off, and allowed Youngquist to pick up that ball, and now he'll give it a punt.
You know, I like McGowan back here as the sweeper for Anoka. He's so quick. He's a sophomore, and he's really athletic. You know, it does hurt them up the middle of the field or on the offensive end, but he can run with anybody back there. He's still got just over 9 minutes here in the first half. And
formation's pretty much looking the same as when they started early minutes.
yeah, it looks like Anoka might be dropping that extra forward back, what they were doing before, and leaving Charlie Fossen up on top there. But Danny Botko is running kind of like a withdrawn forward for Anoka, but playing a little more back in the middle, and Fossen sitting up on the sweepers right now. Otherwise, Andover is running the same thing that they ran at the beginning of the game, and they've run all year long.
Of course, Andover last year, one of excellent goalkeeper who's playing this year. University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Nolan.
It's good soccer there.
Absolutely, that is. This will be a free kick. Gearing it up. Schrader. Dylan Schrader gets a look here. The junior. He's tallied this year already, as I mentioned, 5 goals, tied with Eklund for second on the team in goals scored. Well played one here near the 6. Confusion. Now trying to bury it in the 6. He'll get the bounce, and it's in. A goal. It had the spin on top of that off the initial shot, then the rebound, and you could see the spin. And you just sometimes feel helpless as Anoka tried to clear it out, but when they did, it spun off the leg and went into the goal.
First off, it was a great ball, Joe.
It was.
Beautiful ball. Missed header by Anoka, and there's that spin, and poor Caden Aldridge tried to get it out of there, and with that spin, he didn't have much of a chance.
Hennessy. Gavin Hennessy will collect that goal. And you're right. You see that spin, and you're thinking, oh, heavens. And you're trying to get your body in front of it. But good hustle, and it was all initiated by the initial free kick. A dime put in the right spot there by Dylan Schrader, who will probably pick up an assist. If so, for Schrader, that would be assist number 4 on the season. For Hennessy, his second goal of the season.
Well, if you're Coach Sewell right now, you don't want your kids to quit. You know, you go out here, you've got about 7 minutes until halftime. You try to pick one up, get a little bit of momentum back, and, you know, maybe get back into this game. But can't give up anything more, that's for sure. Not that Anoka hasn't had some opportunities, but they have a tendency when they get behind not to work as hard as they should. So here's a good opportunity right here.
High shot on that corner, getting a hand on it. It's Gunther still moving around, rotating, and then finally laying out to make the save and securing it. Again, Christian Gunther, 3-0 lead after the goal by Hennessy and the assist by Schrader.
Yeah, good opportunity right there by Tabukum for Anoka, and another nice save by Andover.
Here's a boot, loose one, goes through the uprights.
Oh, a couple of chances there for Anoka, so they're not giving up right now. See if they can get something here before halftime. Looks like the rain has subsided, I think. I don't know. Like you said, we got the primo seats in here.
We do. And as we mentioned, Baraka, last year's all-out just star player for the last couple of years for the Huskies. He's playing in Evanston, Illinois, some D1 soccer. I was looking here online because I know they played St. Thomas this past weekend. And trying to see, I know he has maybe 1 goal this year, but he's getting plenty of playing time. As I know, head coach Andy Lynch certainly keeps an eye out for those streams. He said he's had a couple of ESPN Plus games that he's had a chance to watch. So 5 and change to go. Andover up 3-0. They're in possession. Gets by the Anoka defense. The collision ensues there. And Anoka tries to settle it up and bring it upfield. Good play by McClintock. commandeer that ball. Stopping Eklund now. A left foot pass to Hagelin. Hagelin looks to Reed. He'll let Eklund get set, drop it back here to the top of the 18. Far side here, lifted high in the air. And I thought maybe they were going to try to feed it back to Hagelin with Eklund that last time. But down near side, here comes a run for Foslin. Left foot kick, tries to make it and go down, and save made. And they are looking for the penalty kick, but I don't think they're going to get it. Foslin went down hard.
Yeah, he needed one more step right there. And good defensive play coming back for Andover. Looks like it's trying to pick up that number on the far side.
Schrader is in, and Hagelin is out probably for the remainder of the half. Or under 4 to play here in the first. A 3-0 lead for Andover. Navigating by a good left foot kick, but the defense gets over Hennessy that time to disrupt that shot. It deflects near out, now finally out. Throw in awarded the way here for Anoka. Throw in by Alquist down the line. Trying to settle. Now they'll move it up. Akwe to Eklund. Eklund sets it up and battles there and Huskies had bracketed the Anoka. Defender there, lifted high, kicked this one up, and now it's sent back out to about the 30. Darting in. Andover tries to make a push down the far side here. They're up 3-0 already. Had a couple of opportunities. I hate to pick a scab, but certainly Akwe had a couple of golden opportunities
sure did.
in the first 4 minutes. And he had a chance to get his second career goal for the freshman, but hit the post on one, and then the defender came back to help out for Anoka to clear.
You know, it's a long ways back for Anoka here, Joe, but it's not like they haven't had some opportunities. You know, last time we saw them against Champlin, they lost that game 2-1, but did not have hardly any scoring opportunities, and they're having a few opportunities here tonight. So, you know, it's a long ways to go yet. We still have 42 minutes.
Yeah, had a chance to speak with Clint Sewell before the game, and there's a run to it. Who's going to get there first? Andover. He had said, I got to tell you, that Champlain Park game really wore us down. And that was a physical game. It was fun to watch. It was fast. It was happening. And he goes, and those little penalty kick just before the in that first half. And then, of course, coming out that second half, they scored, I wanted to say, at least the first minute of that second half on a loose ball in front of Youngquist. Punched him up 2-0. But that game had quite the fast pace to it. Here he goes, Tabukum. Tabukum again, a freshman.
I noticed him a lot out here. He's had a couple of opportunities, moves the ball well, very active in the middle of the field.
Moving it back, do you think you see Anoka maybe go to some sort of different formation to try to get some runs or some push-up field, or too early in that second half to begin with?
Yeah, I think it's probably too early. You can make that adjustment at half here and push somebody else up. But I know Charlie Foslin is not doing well health-wise, and I saw him ask for a sub, and he never asked for a sub, and he's sitting on the bench right now, and he's really their threat up top. So a little bit thin there, and then a little bit thin in the back right now, and you're just trying to tread water right now if you're Anoka. And
are you talking about their depth or my hairline?
I would never talk about a hairline because yours and mine are the same.
Through ball, here's a chance and a shot, goal! A quick burst opportunity, and cutting into that deficit is Botko. That'll give him some juice heading into halftime. 3-1 now, and you could see that quickly evolving. A good low pass to the turf and a burst move by Botko.
Aldridge, nice move here. Great pass. threat of the D, and Botko with a great run on the backside. And there's a goal in the last 21 seconds for Anoka. So that should be a little bit of a pickup for them.
It looked like he kind of snuck in behind Weiss. Weiss didn't get a chance to mark him, and boy, great position because he went lower 90, opposite side, or he came in on that 6. Reflect and a rebound here, and this will take it to an end. Certainly not a lack of scoring, Pete. 3-1 Andover here at the end of this first half.
Yeah, and I don't think they're done, so stick around, folks.
Coming back at it, it's Huskies up 3-1 over the Anoka Tornadoes boys high school soccer on QCTV.
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures. Eventually, he had to quit. My therapist recommended we go to the doctor. The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation. He's been such a positive force and so loving. Thank you. You're welcome.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
As Americans, there's one thing we can all agree on: the promise of our Constitution and the hope that liberty and justice is for all people. For over 100 years, the ACLU has fought on behalf of millions of Americans, protecting our vote and our voice, freedom to love who we love, the right to choose, and much more.
Learn how ACLU's defending free speech and all our civil liberties at myaclu.org.
I had to leave my baby in the hospital NICU.
If we come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong.
Join March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Oh.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
QCTV is proud to announce award recognition for 2022, including 10 Telly Awards. And 2 ACM Hometown Media Awards. QCTV is dedicated to providing high-quality content for our community. We are grateful for the support, and we look forward to another exciting year here at QCTV.
My name is Marsha Ford. I've been coaching in some forms since it's probably 30 years. I've been doing some kind of coaching. I've been with the Andover girls. This will be my 14th season. I knew I wanted to be a teacher, and when I started swimming, I knew I wanted to be a coach too. I wanted to be able to mesh both of them together.
Yeah, so we only lost one senior, which was pretty good, but we did lose a freshman, and she was one of our top swimmers, so that was kind of hard on the team, but a lot of the girls this year have stepped up, so we're back to where we were pretty much from last year, and it's looking pretty good. It's definitely unique in that aspect. I mean, it's a lot mentally, more challenging on yourself, so you know that it only counts on you for your events. And as a team, we do score points all together, but it's mostly just up to you and what you do in the pool at the time.
Well, you don't get to breathe that much in swimming. You stare at a black line or a blue line on the bottom of the pool, so you kind of have to make your own stuff up. But I think the big thing is the camaraderie that you build with your teammates. It doesn't matter if it's masters or club or beginning or high school, they become like a family, and I think that's a huge thing, especially since you're all kind of going through the same stuff. They just want to have fun. They want to perfect their skills. They want to get better times. And that's kind of the thing. We put the posters up by the entrance, and they all come in and touch them as they go. Another one that they have is actually academic. They want to have a team grade point average of 3.5 or higher, so they're really focusing on all of it.
Yeah, right now we're looking to get a full section team for when that comes. So we're looking to get 4 kids in each event. We're hoping to go to state for a relay or 2 or some individual events, but overall, just do our best and improve throughout the year. I just want to have fun, stay positive for my senior year, and it's going good so far, so I'm excited.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
We were at the first ever hockey game between Anoka and Ramsey. And it's our police associations. And this year, the proceeds are going to the Grubner family, and we hope to do it next year. Very proud of the Ramsey officers who won this year. But everybody had a great time, and we packed the stadium, so that's really what it was all about, bringing everybody out. I believe everybody had a great time. I know I did.
So my cousin, Nick Goldberg, asked me to come out and play with him, and I had nothing going on this Friday night. I always like hanging out with him and his kids, so I thought it'd be fun to come out and play a little hockey with these guys.
Second half of this match just about to begin here as the Andover Huskies hosting the Anoka Tornadoes. Andover with 3 goals, took a 3-0 lead on goals by Hagelin, Weiss, and Eklund. And then late, with about a minute left in that first half, Botsko with a burst play on the back door, able to send one lower 90 opposite corner to get the lone goal here for Anoka. In that first half, beginning here second half, Joe ruling along with Pete Hayes, a great QCTV crew. Cameras up top, a couple on the field. Dan, the man, the cameraman. I think I saw Stash down on the other side. Tony as well. So a good crew, and Ryan in the truck. So Anoka moving left to right, and got to get some juice going here for the Tornadoes as they come in just struggling a bit, have dropped their last few games. And then this is kind of a significant game here. Is it the last one of the season, but it's also seeding time on Sunday.
Well, Duluth East is in that mix too for seeding. Anoka played them and lost them, and Andover didn't play them. So they're always kind of the wild card, Joe. But you know, as I see it right now, they're probably 4 and 5 in the section. Blaine and Centennial the 1-2, and Duluth East maybe 3. But I guess we'll wait and see. How about this? The sun just came out.
Look at that. Gotta love it. Hey, don't go away, because after this matinee game, this boys game, it'll be the girls queuing it up and getting at it. 2 teams, almost identical records for the girls. 7-4-2 for the Andover girls. And meanwhile, it is a record of 8-4-2 for Anoka. That'll be a great battle. So that's coming up just a few minutes after this matinee game, and you're right, the sun is out. Great to see it. Doesn't that just perk things up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Including with follicles on the top of my head. There's a handball, and that's going to give Andover a chance here for the free kick, and Eklund will do the honors. Eklund with the 3rd goal of that first half on the assist going to Schrader. On the near side here, trying to settle. Quay as well, the freshman for Andover, with a couple of golden opportunities in that first half. Now toward the top of the 18, redirected out. Eklund trying to position it and walk it out himself. And now moving up at midfield on a run. A through ball attempt here. A good look at Foslin trying to reposition it. It'll be a corner kick coming up after it went off the gloves on a nice play by Foslin to result in a corner. A fixed piece here coming. Here comes the set piece on the corner. This, I believe, the 3rd corner of the game for the Tornadoes. Their first here in the second half. Just underway, 3-1 lead for Andover.
Anoka has gone short on this before, and they're making sure that they get their 10 yards. So let's see what they do here, whether they knock it off to Botko, or you got that left footer in Aldridge, though, that can, Alquist, that can hit it a pretty good ball.
Strikes it there around the goal box. Loose ball, loose change here, trying to settle. And trying to rip one back in. And now offside will be the call. Against Anoka. What's your thought of putting up somebody right inside the ball, 2 players on a quick touch or whatever with that maneuver on the corner and that set piece.
You know, I never used to do it very often because I think if you have someone who can get a good service into the box, why do it? You know, it might get you an extra 5 yards, but you're probably going to do the same thing and just put it back in the box area. So I never did it that much. I guess if somebody doesn't come out and challenge you, now you can do it, and then it gives you a better opportunity to take a shot or chip one into the box. But most teams are smart enough, especially at the varsity level, where they'll put somebody out there within that 10-yard area and not give you that opportunity.
That's Anoka trailing by 2. They're in the white. Moving left to right. Left foot kick trying to hit the through here, but leaks its way just beyond the 18. And Youngquist corrals that ball, and he'll send a punt. Now, you're not seeing a lot of punts or any kicks from Gunther, as had a leg injury, and he missed about 4 games earlier this year. Still a bit tentative on it, so they're having someone else come in and hit it up. I asked the head coach for Andover, hey, how would you describe a couple of words that you would use to describe your team? And Andy Lynch said for his Huskies, I'll tell you, effort. We've increased our effort, and we're finally getting healthy. So effort and healthy, he said. And he said that's why you're starting to see that turn, as Andover looking to end their regular season with 3 consecutive wins. Their last 2 games, a 2-0 win over Rogers and an impressive 4-1 win at Centennial. And that was on Monday. In that game, Hagelin had the hat trick, 3 goals. Here's one looking to go far post on the free kick. Eklund a little shaky on that initial glove action there by Youngquist, but he corrals that as well, and he'll punt near to up about midfield. As a coach, you got to kind of be drooling when you can see those free kicks from just outside the 18. That's as good as a corner, if not better.
Yeah, when you got a guy like Eklund that's going to hit him for you, that's a real plus too. Haven't seen him as much as the last game that we saw him, but when he touches it, good things really happen. So try to get him the ball as much as possible, and he'll dictate the play.
So back in, begin the second half, is Aldridge. So why the substitution so quickly there, Pete? Number 14 is Kanisa.
Well, he's usually a defender for Anoka. I do know that, and Aldridge is more of a midfielder. So I think they just wanted to give him a couple of minutes and see how that worked out, and then they'll go to the center midfielder in Aldridge.
Konieczny is out. Again, as you saw, a good defensive play on the other end there by the Tornadoes to prevent scoring opportunity for Eklund. He was trying to knock that loose and capitalize on that advantage. Great to see the sun out. We're 7 minutes in here. Second half, it remains a 3-1 lead. And what's something that you do here for a team to kind of get them, getting that brain thinking, productivity, scoring opportunities, strategies?
Well, I really like the way that Anoka's come out here. There definitely has been no give. They've been getting a few opportunities early, but there's a good shot right there by Alquist. No Alquist, a sophomore defender. Big left foot for Anoka, but I'm looking at maybe the 20-minute mark where you might want to push somebody else up front. They're playing that 4-defender back right now, but if you can push somebody up front and mark with those 2, it'll give you another scoring opportunity.
Down on the field right now and trying to get it is Tubukam. Arvin Tubukam, the freshman, took a spiel there with 32 minutes left here in the second half. And you saw that laser from Alquist that came, that left foot kick. And sometimes those goalies can make it look so easy, but that ball is knuckling, coming in, moving up and down, and you look pretty confident handling that one, did Gunther, even though a little tentative with that knee. Here's a open kick, or excuse me, a free kick here that floats in. A good hand save.
Yeah, that was Danny Botko on top of the box right there. Great save by Gunther for Andover.
That was almost giving the ball a high five to make that save. Quick glove hand. Flashing that leather with just a solo hand. Busave now over the top. More pressure, and we talked about it. Hey, what can you do to get the team pepped and moving and creating some scoring opportunities? Well, you saw a couple there by the Tornadoes, but they come up empty. Wow.
Yeah, once again, someone on the top of the box. You know, Andover scored on theirs where it came out on a corner kick, top of the box, put it in the back of the net, and Anoka almost put this thing a 3-2 game with about 30 minutes left. But great save by Gunther.
Hagelin looking for that run and trying to see if they can assert that, create a scoring opportunity there. But coming out right now is Grant Johnson. He'll take the bench. I believe coming in was Ethan Weiss. Weiss with a laser about 5 yards beyond the 18 in that first half. Just under the crossbar, and a beautiful goal put Andover up 2-0. Now settling. Foslin gets it. Back foot. I'll look to the freshman here for the Tornadoes. Diffused by a nice sliding effort there by Andover. Moving in was Tabukum to try to get a foot on it, and the player's down, and that looks to be, is that Foslin?
That's Foslin, and they cannot have Foslin.
Boy, he looks like he is in pain. It's 29:57 to go here in this second half. And
yeah, they cannot afford to have this kid out, especially come playoff time. But he's up right now and moving around. I think it's probably the same injury that he's had coming into the game, and he's kind of pushing around on his kneecap a little bit. So I don't know if something's going on with Charlie there, but another good scoring opportunity for Anoka coming up here.
Coming off under his own power, running back in here will be Vlad Varney. Corner opportunity, near side of the field. Alquist, the left foot kick, approaches. Now he'll take another run. A good strong left foot kick. Picks this one in, hooks it, and deflected right at about the top of the box. At the 6. Throw in by Alquist. Got away. Almost given away there by McGowan, but they regather. Lofted high after a couple of rebounds and exchanges. A header goes up. Up top, controlled. A little push there. They'll continue to play on now, far side of the field. Schrader trying to get the numbers. He gets the ball back. It's deflected out, and it'll be a throw in for Andover.
You know, Coach Sewell's got to be happy with the way his teams responded after being down 3-0 to get that goal right before half. And the first 10 minutes of the second half have been mostly controlled by Anoka. So we still have 28 minutes to go here. This thing's far from being over, but a goal by Andover would pretty much put it out of reach.
Lifted here, drops back, a kick about 5 away from the 18, is sent over the top that time by Weiss.
Yeah, Weiss, one of the goal scorers for Andover, hit a shot similar to that, only in the back of the net here in the first half.
Andover came out in the first half, first 4 or 5 minutes. A series of shots. It was like Top Gun. Flybys right by the control towers. And finally getting that first goal was Hagelin, and he kept that one on the ground. We got a yellow coming up here.
Levi McClintock going off for Anoka, one of the 3 seniors. So once again, he needs to watch out here this last 28 minutes once he gets reinserted into the game. With playoffs coming up. So a free kick for Andover here.
Andover gets the free kick. After that, we'll take a quick look at the 3A rankings. But free kick opportunity. Is that Schrader again on the far side. He had a beautiful setup. On the third go, near the 6. Rebound, unleashing a shot this time, just off the mark by Weiss, looking to get a second laser of this match. And
Weiss is saying, this is fun today.
Yeah,
I'm a defender, and I've had 3 great scoring opportunities and scored on 1.
Schrader with an assist earlier in that first half. Tried to get a second on a nice setup. That to no avail. Still 3-1 lead for the Huskies. And this will be another free kick. Another look here and a free kick for
They just scored?
I just missed.
I just
there
missed
was a
it
pop
too.
there. They went right at it.
Well, hopefully our crew's got it, and I'm sure they do, because I was looking down.
Holy, that was.
And Coach Sewell's
that
hands
was
are up in the
manufactured
air like,
fast.
what's going on here?
Stopped in. It was a quick. They quick set it up. Hagelin went down, and then quickly up. Look at that. They just fed the pass down below. And before anything else, it went right off of Youngquist on the shot. That's called, hey, taking advantage. You said do it speed, and Caden Hansen will get credit for that goal.
And there was nobody on Anoka ready for that, including their goaltender.
No one was ready, including the announcers.
Including the announcers, yes.
4-1
Wow.
lead. That goal comes 27 minutes into this remaining here in the second half. 4-1 lead. So the Huskies answer and get back to reclaim that 3-goal lead. Pull down from behind is Eklund. He'll get this free kick. And we'll keep it here, right? So we can never tell how quickly. But you're right, Pete. I know you said as a coach you would always want them to get moving. You know,
Yeah,
during those free
absolutely.
kicks.
And be facing the ball. You know, when you're getting back, at least taking a look. You know, you never wanted to turn your back on the ball.
Schrader picks up his second dime this evening. Here's a high ball inside near the 6, kick back out by the Tornadoes off the header and the deflection.
Foslin back in the game for Anoka.
Battles there. Now kicks to the far side on a pass. Trying to reverse field and bring it down. Now I'll take it right down to seam. That pass stepped in front there and intercepted by Andover and sent back in. And that'll send Anoka and McGowan back. Send it back on the kick. There's Eklund. Near the Husky logo. Schrader gets by. And Eklund picks up the loose change. Tries to put a backside of the foot there pass. Anoka picks that up and lofts it high in the air here. Near side. Konizny had it momentarily, lost it on the turnover. And Schrader takes it near midfield. Touch pass here, couldn't connect that time with Eklund. And a counter attack here comes the Tornadoes. They chip it ahead. Had it to Fosling. And then Tabukam on a pass out wide. Trying to get it back to Tabukam. Tabukam kicks it back to Fosling, back to Tabukam. Tabukam left foot kick. Trying to set one up here to Konizny, and that's disrupted. A diving save and extending that huge frame to make the save by Gunther as that ball was going to the lower 90 side.
Yeah, nice build up there by Anoka. Good opportunity here by Charlie Foslin and better save by Gunther.
Moving back down again, and the Huskies came into this game. They're actually with a record of 6-7. They've been outscored 25-27 coming into this game, but now with these 4 goals, they've outscored their opponents 29-28 here with 24 minutes left here in the second half. They've again reclaimed that 3-goal lead on the quick transition on the free kick by Caden Hansen, his first goal of the season. And the assist went to Schrader. For Schrader, he's collected assist number 4 and 5 here on the season. Total 10 points there.
I'll tell you, Anoka had the momentum kind of going their way, and you just can't let that happen right there. That's just a backbreaker, and good heads-up soccer by Andover, so you have to hand it to them, and an absolute no-no by Anoka.
Nick Brown in, Aquay, the freshman, out. Now for Andover. Trying to get a through ball through to Foslin. That's dismantled there, and now a bouncing ball controlled back again to Andover. They'll send it to the back line. Team last year, the Huskies, who represented Section 7 in the state tournament. A whistle here on Andover, and it'll be a free kick chance here, and we'll see if that's going to be Alquist or who they're going to send.
Looks like McGowan's coming up to take that free kick.
At about the 25.
This is the dangerous area right here.
Approaches. Looks for someone on the backside, a header, and it floats right into the possession of Gunther. I have Gunther right now with 6 saves here in the game so far. There's Alquist with the left foot kick, sends it down the line. A bouncing ball, trying to get it in possession of a forward for the Tornadoes. And Andover promptly strikes the ball. And here comes Eklund. Eklund always looks like he can settle any type of ball and move it upfield so quickly.
He just reads the game so well, Joe. You know, you're absolutely right. He has great touch on it, but he just knows where to go. You see players like that every once in a while, and they just, you know, it's like any sport. If you can read the game, it makes it a whole lot easier. You know, same way in hockey, and we're both hockey guys, and guys who know where that puck's going are the guys who can play and gets them to the next level, which this kid should be able to do.
Cade Araya is now in for Andover, and getting also another look here is number 17, Ethan Weiss. 4-1 lead, 1 goal here in the second half for the Huskies. As they had at one point a 3-0 lead in the first half. A goal with a minute remaining by Botko. Cut that deficit to 2 goals just before that first half. And this match with 21 minutes remaining. And this, the final game of the regular season for both of these squads. And the one thought I had to recount, because I actually thought Anoka had more goals than what I had counted them for in the season. And I think I had 21 goals this season. It's a team that's certainly, on this kick just missing, it'll be a goal kick for the Huskies. Again, they'll probably have a defender do the honors here. Hennessy perhaps, but a team for Anoka that certainly will bring back a lot of experience next season.
Yeah, there's not a lot of goal scorers on here except Foslin this year. And I think they got 2 or 3 kids who might have, you know, 3 or 4 goals maybe, but they haven't scored a whole lot of goals this season. Like we said, they're young and they'll have most of them back, but they have to try to figure a way in the playoffs here to put a few goals in the back of the net.
Through here, Foslin maneuvering his way in close, tries to punch that thing
nice
and
save,
purchase a beautiful technique. And a save made by Gunther, considering he's had a bad knee this year.
He's made 3 really nice saves. Here's a look at the replay. Boy, and Foslin was going to that outside. He made that goalie kick right there.
And Anoka,
the old hockey
look
kick.
There. Oh my goodness.
And here's another chance for Alquist. See if I'm guessing he's going to try to bend it with that left foot to the back post. So you run some bodies to that back foot post. Caused some havoc, but Gunther's made 3 really nice saves, or we could be tied up.
Time continues to run as the 3 players kind of triangulate around the ball. Tabukum along with Alquist. And then coming in as well, number 22, Aldridge. This free kick about 5 yards just beyond the corner of the 18, over the top, Tabukum.
Didn't get enough on that.
Nope, and it had a bend him like Beckham, a low bend him like Beckham, and quickly hooking its way out and away from that goal box. So it kind of diffused itself on that kick.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance, and he didn't give him a chance right there by hitting it short. And you have to make those plays when you're down by 3 this late in the game.
Counter attack now by Andover quickly here, and they went back and again had like a 3-on-2, an odd man run up the field, but could not convert. It'll be a goal kick awarded to the Tornadoes. Is there too much time? Like in that case, it sure took a lot of time to formulate that. Or, you know, you wonder if it kind of lost that flow of that play. And as they tried to get the perfect kick there with a goal kick, unable to do so. Now back, bump from behind is Haglund, and he sends it across the field just beyond the numbers. It was teammate back to Eklund. Up around the 18. Eklund looks like he's also bicycling half the time. He kicks the knees up and just moves with such ease. So now, Pete, you're getting to this point where you're going to need to probably start bringing some people to the top.
I'm bringing them to the top, and it's twofold. You try to get back in this game by doing it, and secondly, you're setting yourself up for next week. You know, if we get behind, how does this work? Is it work okay if we push somebody else up? You know, so right now I would, you know, keep that sweeper back there, McGowan, who's pretty solid. You know, mark with a couple guys in the back and push that extra forward up top and see what it looks like. You know, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain if it works well, you know, come next week. And, you know, all bets are off the way this game's going for next week. It's 4-1 right now, but one goal was a total mistake by Anoka, and Gunther's made a lot of nice saves for Andover. So all bets are off for next week, but see if Anoka can try to get a goal and get back in this game here with just over 16 minutes to play.
Schrader on the drop, and then he heads up. They tried to get it up in front. Last play in sequence down, they saw Landon Fogarty, who really made a nice defensive play to redirect that ball out as they were trying to make a deep run through the 18. Here's a left foot kick. Foslin tries to go far side and trying to hit a cutter coming in that far wing, but unable to convert. Good idea, but just maybe a stride too far out in front. Attempting to, it looked like getting it to Gavin Soule.
Yeah, that was Tristan McGowan who got that all going coming out of the back. One thing I would have liked to have seen out of him, he should have kept going. You know, all of a sudden he dished it off and then dropped back. Well, you still got 3 defenders because they're playing 4 back there. So just keep yourself going here. Maybe you can do a little give and go and get yourself in all low. But a good scoring opportunity for Anoka there.
Flag is up, I believe. That's foul on Brown. Those of you wondering, the Twins are up 2-0. They are already in the 9th. Far side here, and Anoka trying to get it going, and kind of an unforced error that time by the Tornadoes, and they'll give it right back to Andover. And Andover, chance to go 500 on the season if they can close out with this win. That would be 7-7 on the season, but more importantly, kind of getting that mojo in the flow with 3 consecutive wins. They're going to win 2-0 over Rogers last Thursday. A 4-1 win over Centennial, in which Haglund had 3 goals. And Aquay had 1. And looking to end their season on a positive note here against Anoka. And then, of course, the seeding meetings take place on Sunday. And what are those like, Pete?
Well,
for coaches and how you...
It depends how close they are. You know, if they're close, they're pretty intense, you know, and everybody kind of pleads their case, and I really enjoy doing that myself, you know, and tried to set myself up the best that I can and being as honest as you can in your voting. So, you know, this year will be pretty interesting in the seating meeting and where people end up. But no, they're a lot of fun, you know, and you get to go head to head with the other coaches, so that's always kind of fun too, and get the opportunity to see them on a different level than during a game.
Bergeron in for Andover, Eklund out probably for the remainder of the game here with 13 minutes to go. We're going to show you also the Class 3A. We were talking about the seedings and everything else, but kind of a look at the 3A rankings here in the state as you know, season comes to an end. The latest rankings, and those play a role in terms here. Trying to get themselves into a spot here to unleash a shot here in the 6th. Redirected and a goal.
Boy,
coming
nice
in the
goal.
back door is Hagelin, his 2nd of the game, his 13th of the season. What a dime. What a feed. And that was straddling the 6 for some time.
There was a miss there by an Anoka player that set this all up, and then shooting in instead of jockeying. So a couple of mistakes by Anoka, actually 3, because they left their mark and let him get in on goal all alone. But great pass, great finishing touch for Andover.
Schrader with 3 beautiful dimes. That a left foot kick or pass that straddled the 6-yard box. His 3rd assist, and meanwhile the 2nd goal tonight for Hagelin, and those two are certainly in sync. For Schrader on the season, now he has 6 assists and 5 goals, and for Hagelin, his 2nd goal tonight. He's been really forging ahead, and some momentum coming here to the end of the season and in the postseason for Hagelin, who picks up his 13th goal of the season in Andover. Up 5-1 here with 12.5 to play.
Well, that one was turn out the lights for Andover against Anoka. So round 1 goes to Andover, and in a convincing style with 5-1 with 12 minutes left.
It appears Andover moving to 7-7, and oh, by the way, don't go anywhere, because the girls matchup is coming up next. That's going to be a great one. Even though I know on the tweet I had said and mentioned around the X, it's been since 2004 since the Anoka girls had picked up a win against Andover. They've had some ties, but also a big news just in as well. The Minnesota Twins advance in the playoffs. 2-0 win, perched up ahead here by Foslin. Corralling, a little dancing with the stars footwork there by the goalie, Gunther. And he finally picks it up, Andy Lynch and the Huskies. We'll end this season on a positive note as Botko now done for the evening. He heads to the bench for the Tornadoes. They can ill afford to have any additional injuries as they go to postseason. And again, congrats also to the Minnesota Twins, a 2-0 win.
Pitching these 2 games. You know, it's a good thing seeing Botko over there is a little banged up and has a yellow card. You might want to get Levi McClintock out of the game too, you know, so he doesn't get frustrated and get another foul on himself and be done for the playoffs.
Oh my, there's a yellow that was issued.
And they give that one to McGowan, so that's another one that you have to watch out for with the yellow.
10 minutes, 50 seconds remaining, and Andover has this game in hand. This will be a free kick as the Tornadoes try to build their wall. Yes, yep, 2-0 again for the Twins. For those of you who may be doing some multitasking, for me that is watching TV and
that's right,
and then watching this game at the same time. So Ryan reminds us of that 2-0 win, and Andover advances. Andover, the Minnesota Twins advance. I'll tell you, for a team that hadn't won, I had to do some interviews with Corey Koski. Here's the free kick. Schrader goes over the top, drops it, and lower 90, slides that under the garage door. And the hat trick for Hagelin as he sends a missile, a worm burner, and slides that under the garage door for his third goal performance, second consecutive third goal performance, and 14 now on the season, and you got to think he is in the zone. You'd almost have to say hits. Hagelin in the zone.
Yeah, he's having a nice night here, as is Andover. And
3-goal performance.
You know, we were 3-1 until Anoka fell asleep, and all of a sudden it's 6-1. So there's some scoring potential here for Andover right now.
His third hat trick of the year, Nathan Hagelin.
I think Andover will get an opportunity right now to play a few other kids with a 5-goal lead.
Little spin cycle move there for the Tornado forward. Dislodged off of his foot, rolls beyond the side line, and it'll be a throw-in. About to approach single digits in terms of minutes left. 9:50 to go. If we can get a look at those Class 3A rankings as well, and you'll take a look and see, hey, it's Minneapolis Washburn up top. You've always said, hey, a good squad. 13-1. Meanwhile, Maple Grove out of the Northwest Suburban Conference. Both these teams will tell you just how tough they are. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Maple Grove to get by Champlin Park in the Section 5 matchup. Then you got Wayzata along with Minnetonka, Edina 5, East Ridge 6. Cretin is at 7, Rochester Mayo 8, Woodbury, and then Stillwater rounds out that top 10. But anything goes once the playoffs begin.
You know, I had an opportunity to talk to Andover's coach, and not Andover's coach, Maple Grove's coach, and they're worried about Champlin Park, and Osceo's another school that I saw this year play, and they got a nice team too. And talk about Minneapolis Washburn in 14 when we won the state, or 15 when we won. We played Washburn in the second round up at St. Cloud, and that's kind of when they started taking off. So probably 7 years ago, you know, it used to always be Minneapolis Southwest, and all of a sudden Washburn's showing up, and they had a nice coach over there, and they're starting to get those Minneapolis soccer kids. It's still with Southwest, but Washburn, they're legit in the last 7 years.
And of course, Minneapolis Southwest as well. This team's very strong. As we sit here, you had a look there at a corner by Eklund. Easily handled by Youngquist on that save. And I would say what appeared to kind of be kind of that tipping point here of the second half was that free kick by Andover. Because, hey, Anoka had some scoring opportunities. But then all of a sudden, they got the free quick. They put it on the foot of Caden Hansen, who got his first goal of the season as a result. That was also the second assist of the night for Schrader. Dylan Schrader, 3 assists. Hagelin picks up his third hat trick of the season. His second consecutive game with a hat trick, as he had 3 against Centennial.
Boy, a lot of guys want to just score 3 on the season. He's got 2 hat tricks in the last 2 games.
Huskies have hit the switch here. Season's coming to an end. The regular season, but now the fun just begins, really, because strategizing as a coach, everything is a little bit more, a lot more pressure. You know, turnovers, holding possession, and when you're trailing by a goal, I gotta imagine, you know, that puts some extra pressure. Nobody wants to end their season.
Yeah, nothing else matters. What I mean by that is what you did during the season doesn't matter. You know, and I always used to tell my kids, hey, once the season's over, all I worry about are who are guys who show up when the lights turn on. And what I mean by the lights turning on is the bright lights of the playoffs. And I always say, you win that first game and there's 200 people there. You win that second game, there's 400 people there. You get in that championship, there's 600. You go to the state tournament, there's 2,000. So what do you want to do? You know what? And all I'm going to remember in the whole offseason is how you played in those 3 games to get us to the state tournament. And that's kind of the way I operated. And my wife hated me during playoff time. And she said, you just get weird and you doing your own thing and you're OCDing on everything. And I did. And I didn't leave any rocks unturned, and I was so locked in for that 2, hopefully 4-week season, but 2 weeks for sure. And, that's what's coming up. So, Anoka gets beat 6-1, but all that counts is next week. And you see how that goes there. And it's the same thing for Andover. You win 6-1, but all that counts is next Tuesday.
That is. And here's a look at a free kick for Alquist with 5 and change to go. Punched out. Nice job. Nice knuckle punch there. And Alquist tries to send it right back in again, but defensively set there. And you get a look at Fogarty again with a nice play. Brings that big body in there and doesn't allow anyone to get too close. So, and it's one of those things that I always tell as a player, and you've coached hockey at the high school level and also soccer, but do you feel like the players feel that need? Do they feel that extra pressure come time for postseason? Is that something you pretty drive heavily as a coach to kind of not only get them motivated but focused?
Well, it's how you train them during the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we used to train them for is this time of year, so I don't think our kids felt a whole lot of pressure. They never really felt a lot of pressure against who they were playing against. They just knew their jobs and they did their jobs, and if they did them right, a lot of times we won, so I don't think that they really, felt the pressure. And I think that was one of the good things that we had during our good years. And we had a lot of those good years, but, they were trained that way all year long. That all that matters is the playoffs. We won a whole lot more section championships than conference championships.
Did you get a chance to see Schrader walk it down, take the shot on? Nice save by Youngquist. Still at the 6. Trying to zero it in. Nice job by Schrader to kind of seal the defender off and walk it down low and put a left foot kick in. Beautiful save by Youngquist. Well, no one has that experience like you, Pete Hayes. 3 state championships, boys high school soccer for the Anoka Tornadoes. And that's why I always enjoy picking your brain on formations and strategies that transpire at critical points of each of these matches. We're down to 3 minutes to go. Andover will end their season 7-7, but even more importantly, with some momentum. A 3-match win streak. They started the season with 4 wins in a row, did Andover, and they outscored their opponents 11-3. Now, with these last 3 wins, they have outscored their opponents 12-2 in their last 3 games, and that's a good mindset to head in to postseason play with.
What just happened right there, that's the last thing I want, is my goal scorer trying to dribble people in a 6-1 game with the section playoffs coming next week. Geez, get rid of the doggone ball. You got a frustrated team on the other side, and he is a good player, and you need him next week.
2:27 left. And you get to this point where, hey, you'd rather have him on the bench for the last 2:27 and healthy to start the sections. This free kick bounces and takes a spin hop that just goes wide of the mark, and nice glove save made by the Tornadoes keeper.
Well, I know what I want, but I'm up here and they're down there, so I'm not even giving my opinion. You know, I'm not down there. They're the guys down there. They know their players, so and they're the ones that need to make the decisions at this time of year. But I'll tell you what, that Andover team looked pretty good tonight.
They have. And, you know, they stack some wins here at the end of the season, and that's what you look for. Is how can we get into a cadence and a flow? Of course, Hagelin's been in the flow for the whole season. 14 goals now on the season. Another hat trick tonight. 2 consecutive games with the hat trick. And then as a result, you also get some contributors as well from Weiss with a laser. Eklund with a goal. And then, of course, picking up his first of the season, number 8, Caden Hansen.
I see that Eklund is on the bench right now, so he's brought off the field.
And, you know, that's not to mention even the scoring opportunities by Akwe in the opening minutes.
Yeah, he had 3 really good opportunities early.
2 posts.
You know, they got a good goaltender in Gunther, so they're going to have to be reckoned with starting next week.
Stop the clock here, 1:44 to go.
Plus, Joe, they have guys who have been to the state tournament. And there's a lot to be said about that. You know, you've been there, you know what the playoffs are about. You know how fun it was to be down at the big stadium. So those kids, they know that. You know, and nobody else in the section knows that because they weren't in the state tournament like Andover last year. And quite a few of these kids played on that team.
You know, it's all about, hey, even you better understand the preparation needed. Here's a blistering shot that time put on by Knutson. Swatted away. Once again there by Youngquist. Under a minute to play. Andover will end their season 7-7, having outscored their last 3 opponents by a 12-2 margin and posting 3 consecutive wins. Meanwhile, for Anoka, they will drop to 4-7-5. I thought that 4-6-5 was a great cribbage hand, actually. But they go to 4-7-5, and kind of the walking wounded as they collect a lot of injuries here towards the end of the season. But they'll try to heal up as they begin play early next week in Section 7 play. I think a team certainly to watch in Section 5 as well. Blaine will probably we've talked about that. Blaine will probably take the number 1 seed from what I understand for Section 7.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to see Blaine against Anoka. I'll tell you what, this section is wide open.
This game is complete. A 6-1 win by the Huskies. They put up 3 in the first half and 3 more in the second and collect and take home a convincing 6-1 win over the Anoka Tornadoes. Any last thoughts, Pete?
Well, I would watch out for Andover come playoff time, and Anoka's got to try to figure this thing out, you know, by next week. So they got to figure it out quick. But Andover's going in on a high note. Anoka's going in on a low note, but none of that matters. We'll see what happens next week.
Both teams end their regular season here on this game, and Andover ends their season 7-7, winning their last 3 games, outscoring their opponents by a 12-2 margin and the big win. Meanwhile, for Anoka, they end their season 4-7-5. Section play begins for both of these teams early next week. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the staff, the team with the camera work in the truck with Ryan and the gang. A fantastic production here for this matinee game. Game 2 coming your way in just a moment. It's the Andover girls hosting the Anoka girls in high school soccer coming shortly. It's a 6-1 win. Thanks for joining us. Have a major league evening at a minor league price.